We're back!
Smile, you son of a bitch!
You are now listening to Home of Halloween's podcast. This is the horror movie review podcast run and controlled by you, the listeners.
You want to die tonight?
You choose the movies I review. You also get to have your say in the 3-word review.
It's time you fucks contributed something to the cause.
I promise you, you have never heard a podcast like this before, so welcome to the You Run podcast.
Are we having fun now?
No.
We got to season 3, we got to season 3, we got to season 3. Welcome back to the You Run podcast. I'm your host Scott, and today is a very, very, very special episode. Not only is it the first episode of season 3, this is the first episode I'm recording with 4 guests who none of which I think are going to speak. Now, if you follow us on Instagram, you will know what I'm talking about. If you don't and you only listen to the podcast, then I'm going to enlighten you. This week is I Don't Do Dolls week. And if you know anything about me and you follow any of my social medias, you will know I genuinely don't like them. They creep me out. I just find them weird. I don't necessarily believe there's anything sinister or malevolent about dolls. They're just a bit creepy. On this episode, in the lead up to this episode, I've gone out and I've purchased 3 allegedly haunted dolls. And then I've got 1 doll that I already owned that's been in storage that Lisa believes is also haunted. Each section of this episode, I'm going to introduce you to one of the dolls. I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory about what I've been told and what I already know. And then when I go back through in editing, I'm going to see if these dolls make any noises or if they do anything, because there's some bold claims around these dolls that I now own. And I'll point them out in after editing. I will point them out and highlight any bits if they make some noise. Also, on top of that, I'm going to be reviewing the best doll movie ever made. You voted in the polls this week and you picked the 1988 Child's Play. And I have to thank you so, so much. From the bottom of my heart, you've made me suffer Seed of Chucky. You made me suffer the Child's Play remake. And I finally get to review a proper Child's Play, a proper Chucky movie. So thank you very, very much for that. As I said in season 2, season 3 is going to have a lot of changes. There's a lot of things that are different to how they were before, and the format has changed a little bit as well. It's not going to be like the show you listened to last season. But I hope I've not changed it too much that I'm going to put you off and you will stop listening. I'm going to talk you through the changes as we get to them, because if I hit you all with them now, it's going to be 5 minutes of complete and utter boredom. So I'm going to play you the trailer from Child's Play, and then after that, I'm going to introduce you to our first guest, and then we're going to talk all about Chucky.
Everyone has a birthday they'll always remember.
Can we open my presents now, Mommy? A good guy! I knew it! I'm Chucky.
He's something, isn't he?
This is Andy's.
Time for bed, Andy.
Good night, baby.
Good night, Aunt Maggie. Good night, Chucky.
Everyone knows most accidents happen at home.
How did that happen?
This is no accident.
Andy!
I'm Detective Mike Norris, homicide. Miss Peterson's dead, Miss Barkley. She fell from the kitchen window.
Someone's moved in with the Barkley family. And so has terror.
Mommy, I know who was on the counter.
Andy!
Who, Andy?
Chucky.
Nobody believes you about Chucky. He came alive in my hand.
Oh, for God's sake.
Why won't you believe me?
Because I'm sane, Mrs. Barkley. Sane and rational.
No one believes the truth. Or lives to tell it. There's nothing nice about murder. And there's nothing innocent about child's play.
Right, let's introduce you to my first guest. So my first guest is a doll called John. John is allegedly inhabited by a positive spirit who's nice and friendly and not nasty. So I thought we'd start off with one that's good. John can allegedly be heard laughing, and you can also, every now and then, you'll see his eyes move. For this episode, there is going to be some various videos going out on all of our social media of me recording this episode. Not me as such, but more focused onto the dolls. I am going to stitch all of those clips together, and I'm going to make you almost like a Home of Halloween's Ghost Adventures. That's how it's going to be done for you, so you can see if they do anything, and if I pick up any noises on this recording, I'll also add that into that video for you. So it's going to be my first real dabble in effectively a little mini series for you. So that's going to be coming as well. So John sat directly opposite me. So welcome to the show, John. It's nice to have you here. And again, he said nothing, but John is here. That was the trailer for Child's Play. This movie is on another level. So far on another level compared to anything else that's come after. What Don Mancini done with Child's Play is he created a unique horror character, a unique way of delivering horror that no one's been able to do since, not in the same way. And I think we'll start this off with how you've scored it. Scores! So, scoring has changed. You score the movies now, so no more sending me DMs when I score something a 7 and you think it should have been a 9. And no more when I say a movie's scary and I give it a 4 or a 5 and then I get a message going, you pussy. All that shit's gone, because it's now all on you. So these movies have been, or this movie has been scored by our Instagram followers, and will be every week. So there's a poll that goes out on Instagram. I'm asking you for what chance there is of someone enjoying this movie, and you score in between 0 and 100%. And then I'm asking in another poll, what is the chance of someone being scared of this movie? And again, 0 to 100%. So for Child's Play, for enjoyment of the movie, you've scored this 92%. There's a 92% chance that you will enjoy this movie. And for scary, how scary it is, you've said there's a 53% chance this movie will scare you. And this is the way scoring is going to be done now. I'm never, ever, ever going to score another movie. Even if I do another special bonus episode like I did with 1BR when I had Naomi Grossman and Alok Mishra on, anything like that, you are still going to score them. Because I feel it's important that I'm just acting as a conduit for you to say what you think about this movie. I want to take a lot of my opinions out and make it more about you. This is our podcast, and I want you to be in control of it. That's why it is the You Run podcast. Now, I'm going to ask a quick question to John. John, how would you score this movie? No, nothing, no eye movements, nothing whatsoever. John's not giving any scores away. And those were this week's scores by you.
How do we know the damn thing isn't stolen, huh?
Steal this.
Yeah, steal this yourself. Maggie, I think I dated him.
I'm now going to introduce you to my second guest. My second guest is a cowgirl doll called Jolene. She was bought a part of a pair with John. She's got very similar claims, so her eyes will move, she will talk, she'll laugh. Apparently she likes to cry, which is pretty sad. But she was bought as part of a pair, and the owner who I bought them from believes that it's potentially the same spirit that inhabits both dolls, and it jumps from one to the other. So welcome very much, Jolene, to the show, and I'm glad you're sat with John. I don't know if you're in John or Jolene at the moment, but you're here, and I'm pleased you're here. And I do feel I talk crazy every week, so I talk to myself and then put this out into the world, and that doesn't feel that insane to me. But now sat here looking at two dolls and talking to them, I feel fucking crazy. I feel like I should be locked away talking to the dolls. I talk to all of you when there's no one here, and that feels perfectly normal. But talking to the dolls, I think I need some help. Let's talk a little bit about Child's Play. I love this movie. What Don Mancini done with Child's Play is nothing short of fucking revolutionary. He really, really did change the way we looked at horror, using lots and lots of different things and tying it all together. So if you break everything out in this, it sounds like multiple movies in one. So you have got a serial killer, you have got a voodoo master, you have got a possessed doll, you have got a shit detective, you have got a strange relationship between mother and son. All of those individually could be their own movies. But Don Mancini meshed all of that together and fucking seamlessly. So well constructed and put together. Not at any point does this movie feel disjointed or broken or like they're trying to force something in. It's all very smooth and very well knitted together. And I can't praise Child's Play enough. There are some things in it that I want to point out if you've not seen it before and you intend to watch it after this review. Special effects. Special effects are a real mixed bag in this. So you've got some CGI early 80s or mid 80s lightning at the beginning of the movie, which is dismal. It's so bad. At the time, it probably looked incredible, but not today. You need to brush over that and get past that, because from then on out, the practical effects in this movie hold up today as good as when they first... Sorry, I don't know if can anyone hear that buzzing? I don't know if that's going to come out, but one of the dolls just buzzed. Well, fuck. We'll see what happens in editing. Fucking hell. Anyway, from then on out, the practical effects in this movie are outstanding. The animatronics of the Chucky doll are brilliant. They're so good. This doll was so advanced, and the way it moves and the way it talks, and it's done so well, and it's so creepy, and that is brilliant. That is a work of art, that doll. And then when they've got scenes where the doll is obviously can't be used because it's effectively a glorified puppet, and they've got scenes where you see Chucky run, they've used a child actor, which again is brilliant, and it works, and it all stitches together really great. Kills in this are okay. I wouldn't say they're the best kills in the franchise by a long shot, but they're still solid, good kills, and they're creative. And the one thing that Chucky has got above and beyond anything else is his way he communicates and the way he talks. He is almost as good, in my opinion, at hitting a one-liner as Freddy Krueger. And I would love to see those two up against each other, hitting each other with one-liners, because that would be fantastic. The one-liners Chucky's got in this are great, and every other movie from here on out are fantastic, minus The Seed of Chucky. In summary, if you've not seen this before, go and see it. You must go and find it, watch it. You will enjoy it. I fucking guarantee it. That's my opinions on it. Let's find out what you think of this movie in this week's 3-word reviews.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I asked you for them. You delivered them. This week's 3-word reviews. Welcome to this week's 3-word reviews. I'm now joined by another one of our guests, a guest who's got a bit of a bad reputation. My guest now is a bit of a prick, and he's Robert. So Robert is a doll that I bought again. I bought Robert on his own. I was given lots of warnings about this doll. He can move, for a start. He can move about, and he will move from room to room. Apparently you'll see him move his arms and move his legs. His eyes will move. He will talk. He will shout at you. He can also move other things. I'm guessing with his mind, or the spirit comes out of the doll. I don't know how it works, but apparently he can move other stuff, and he'll throw stuff around. The thing that will make him the most active and the most upset is if you put him with other dolls that have entities in them. So I was strongly advised not to do that. So Robert is currently sat with John and Jolene. And all three of them are sat looking at me. We had a bit of a buzz earlier, which I'll be honest, has given me the fucking absolute shits. They are really, really creepy. And when you see the videos that go out and the photographs that I post, you will agree they are creepy as fuck. But all three of them are sat there. I'm pretty sure Robert has got the raging hump, if he is haunted as advertised. That he sat with other haunted dolls. But he's going to join us for the 3-word reviews, and maybe your wonderful 3-word reviews will chill him out. So let's find out. This week's 3-word reviews come from Never Bored of Gore, Nothing Scares Us, Dean's Figures, Michael Audrey Myers, and Valiant Looney. All of those are over on Instagram, apart from Valiant Looney, who's our single 3-word reviewer that I chose from Twitter. And here come their reviews. So, Never Bored of Gore, size doesn't matter. Nothing Scares Us, good guy, huh? Dean's Figures, iconic, incredible, revolutionary. Valiant Looney, scary, creepy. Sorry. Well, it seems I can still mess things up. I don't know what happened there. It all went a bit wrong. Let me try that again. Valiant Looney, scary, creepy, excellent. And finally, Michael Audrey Myers, Cabbage Patch Strangler. And those were this week's 3-word reviews. Let me tell you a little bit about the 3-word reviewers. Never Bored of Gore is a horror account. You've got Nothing Scares Us, who's a horror podcast just like us. Dean's Figures is a horror collector and toy photographer. Michael Audrey Myers is a Michael Myers fan account. And Valiant Looney is another horror account over on Twitter. Thank you very much to every single one of our 3-word reviewers. I'm so pleased to bring the 3-word review back. What did you think of our 3-word reviews, Robert? No? Well, no? Maybe he moved? No, maybe not. I don't know. The doll's doing something. It's not necessarily moving, but I think it's kind of where I've sat it. It's slowly slumping down. But for a second, I thought it moved. But anyway, those are this week's 3-word reviews. 3 months ago, everything in the entertainment world was exactly as it should be. And then somebody closed the door and walked away. But that door is about to swing open. And the man is back. Because on the 12th of September, Tonight with Bruce Martin finally makes its return to YouTube. This new season has incredible new guests like never before, movie reviews, not to mention incredible new music. Tonight with Bruce Martin is back. The wait is over, and this season is going to be like nothing you've ever seen from Bruce before, and it is going to absolutely blow you away. So, get out your diary, put in the date, 12th of September, Bruce Martin is back. That's right, former guest on the show, Bruce Martin, his show is back on the 12th of September. I said in that ad that Bruce has got some incredible guests lined up, and I know that because I know who the first guest he has on is. And that guest is yours truly. I will be joining Bruce for his debut episode of Tonight with Bruce Martin, 12th of September on YouTube. Please, 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 if you listen to this show and you like this show, go and watch that episode, because I'm going to give away some sneak peeks and an announcement of some more guests for this season that you don't know about. Do not miss Tonight with Bruce Martin, the 12th of September on YouTube.
Aunt Maggie, Chucky wants to watch the 9 o'clock news.
Sure he does.
Give us a fact! Welcome to the first ever Give Us a Fact. And with this, I'd like to welcome my final guest to the show, which is a doll called Helen. So Helen I have owned for a good 3, maybe 4 years. Helen's an old porcelain doll in Victorian dress who I bought as a Halloween prop. And she's been covered in fake blood and other bits, and she's been used for a couple of years. After a couple of years of using her as a prop, I put her in our bathroom. Lisa went up to take her makeup off after the Halloween party, and she's convinced that Helen told her to get out. On the back of that, Helen made her way to storage. So she's been at a storage unit at my office, and she's been there since the last Halloween before lockdown. So she's been there a couple of years now. Again, I'm not convinced she's haunted, but we'll listen and see if we pick up anything on this. So Helen, welcome to the show. This new feature, Give Us a Fact, I was really nervous when I put this out because I was concerned that it was asking too much of you as listeners. 3-word reviews, fairly easy. It takes 2 seconds for you to give 3 words about the movie. Give Us a Fact's a little bit harder. You need to share some real information about the movie. And I'm not asking for a fact where you say, this is the movie I lost my virginity to, or this is a movie that I first saw in cinemas. I'm asking for a fact about the production or the crew or the special effects or something that people don't know. And I was overwhelmed with how much you all jumped on this and supported it. And I'm pretty sure if that carries on, this feature will become a permanent feature in the show. So this week's fact comes from Living Dead Girl on Instagram. This movie was originally called Batteries Not Included. It was then later changed to Blood Buddy. And the reason it was changed to Blood Buddy was to write in a plot point where the good guy dolls would have almost like a human-like skin with blood. So if they cut them or you bumped them around a bit too rough, you would need to buy good guy plasters. Both of these were binned and they settled on Child's Play. I don't know if you all know, but around the same time, Steven Spielberg was making a movie called Batteries Not Included, which is a family, we'll call it a sci-fi adventure movie. It's one you can sit and watch with the kids. There's a big part of me that would have liked them to keep the title of this as Batteries Not Included. for the sheer entertainment factor and the hilarious results that would have come from these two movies, both being batteries not included, on the shelves in video stores. The amount of wrong movies that would have got rented out would have been phenomenal. But that was this week's fact, and that come from Living Dead Girl, whose all of her links are going to be in the bio to this episode. Thank you very much for giving us that. And now we're going to get on to my facts and another new feature, fuck-ups. Well, facts are back, but I've added this time fuck-ups. So we got facts and fuck-ups. I'm going to share some facts about the movie and then some things that they fucked up. And the reason I'm going to share those is not to put the movie down in any way, shape or form, but to give you something to find and to spot when you watch these movies. Because I find mistakes in movies really entertaining. Like when you're watching a movie from the Middle Ages and someone's got a digital watch and a pair of jeans on. I find that funny and entertaining. And I think it's great that the editors missed it. So I've added those in as well. So we're going to start off with the facts. So the voice actor Brad Dourif and the visual effects specialist Kevin Yeager created seamless work with the Child's Play and with the Chucky doll. Believe it or not, they never met in person until 2018. That's almost 40 years after the release of this movie. After the release of Child's Play, it was completely disowned by MGM. They didn't like the subject matter it was on and they felt very uncomfortable, so they just went, fuck all to do with us. It was later picked up by Universal, who done all of the sequels apart from the 2019 remake, which was done by MGM. The inspiration for Good Guy dolls was from an interactive doll called Corky. And it was so heavily inspired by that, they actually got the voice actor from Corky's, Eden Gross, to do the voice of Chucky when he's still the good guy doll. So that's how heavily it was inspired. If you go and have a Google for a Corky dolls, if you don't remember them from your childhood, go and have a Google and put an image up of a Corky's doll and Chucky next to each other. And the comparison, you can instantly see that that's where the inspiration come from. If you look closely at the toys in the toy store at the very beginning of the movie, there are some cracking 80s toys on those shelves. So like in movies now, it's very rare you'll get branded products on a shelf anywhere unless that company is paying for advertising. In the 80s, it was a bit different. So you've got Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters, you've got She-Ra figures and you've got Barbie figures all on display on the shelves. When Chucky is set on fire, it's not actually a doll. It is his stunt double, Ed Gale, who's set on fire. Now, Ed Gale I've not touched on yet, and I'm going to talk a little bit about him now. Ed Gale was picked because his height difference between Chucky was less than 30 centimetres. So they could quite easily get away with using him as a stunt double, especially covered in fire. His performance of Chucky and the way he makes Chucky move, he still makes it believable that it's a doll. So Ed Gale done a fantastic job, a really, really good job. And my final fact for this is, unlike lots of other slasher-style movies, the body count for Child's Play is really, really small. So the body count for this movie is only 6. Only 6 people died in this movie. And now we're going to get on to fuck-ups. So the fuck-ups in this are they're both visual fuck-ups. And I want you to, when you watch the movie, to try and spot them. So at the beginning of the movie, when it's Andy's birthday, he goes and jumps on his mum's bed and he's going, "Mummy, Mummy, wake up, Mummy, wake up." His mouth does not move for that entire segment. He's just jumping up and down on the bed with his mouth firmly closed, and yeah, it's dubbed over. And the other fuck up for this is when Karen is holding Chucky in the fireplace, where she's got him pinned in the fireplace with the grill. You can clearly see a puppeteer's arm moving around to make Chucky wiggle about. And those are this week's facts and fuck-ups.
I said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
This has been our first episode back, and it's not been the smoothest episode to record. So these dolls have caused me no end of grief, and they're sat in front of me now, all 4 of my wonderful guests. So I brought them home from storage on the first night I was going to record, and Lisa was very insistent that they would not be in the house. So I went down and recorded in my shed. After about 10 minutes of recording, my phone died. So I come back in and charged it and went back down again, and it died again fairly quickly. I'm very, very sceptical, as I've said many, many times. So I've called my phone provider and basically asked for a new phone. I said the battery's fucked. So they're going to send a new phone out to me. But because of all these issues, and then with the buzzing that I heard, that didn't get picked up on the audio. And I've actually worked out what that is. So I'm going to tell you what that was. So the buzzing was my fridge kicked in. And my fridge is out in my conservatory where I record, and my fridge kicked in, and that's what that buzzing noise was. I've also worked out what the doll moving. So Robert, I thought, moved, and he didn't. It was just the way he was sat, the way I'd positioned him. His head's heavier than his body, and he just slumped down. And I've recreated that several times, so I know that's nothing strange either. So because of all of that, I stopped recording last night, and I've had to record a second night, which has never happened in the history of the You Run podcast. I always wrap the initial record in a single night. Tonight I've had issues where my breaker or fuse board has switched off. I thought it was a power cut, but it wasn't. Something tripped. But it's only me in the house, and the only thing that's running is my phone. I'm not saying any of this is paranormal, but it's just strange because it doesn't normally happen. So I went back through and I edited everything that I caught yesterday. And in editing, I found a noise in a section of audio. I think I know what it is and what it's doing, what that noise is. And I don't want to give it away. I don't want to tell you what I think it might be. What I want you to do is listen and reach out to me on social media and tell me what you think it is. Because there's several people who've heard it now, and several people have multiple different theories. I want to know what you think, because it is strange and it is very, very bizarre. But I'm going to play that clip at the very end of this episode, and I've enhanced I'm going to play the unenhanced clip first, and then I'm going to enhance the bit where there's a separate noise so you can hear it louder. And then you can make your own mind up and tell me what it is. But before I do that, I want to tell you about next week. So next week, I have got an incredible movie for review. Next week, I'm reviewing the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the Wes Craven masterpiece that tipped horror on its head. And I'm joined by a fabulous guest as well. So next week I'm going to be joined by Lady Crisis. For those of you who don't know Lady Crisis from Instagram, she's a big Instagram, we'll call her an Instagram reeler. She does a lot of videos, and she's very, very big on TikTok. And what she's going to do, the reason she's coming on is because she's Freddy obsessed. And she picked next week's movie. So we're going to talk a lot about Freddy. We're going to talk about making reels and making TikToks and the pitfalls that come with that, and lots of other interesting stuff that I found really interesting, and I know you will as well. So make sure you join us next week, me and Lady Crisis, because she's an incredible guest and so much fun to have on. And I'm going to end this episode with a thank you very much for listening. I'm going to play you the audio clip, and I'm going to catch you next week. So welcome very much, Jolene, to the show, and I'm glad you're sat with John. I don't know if you're in John or Jolene at the moment, but so welcome very much, Jolene, to the show, and I'm glad you're sat with John. I don't know if you're in John or Jolene at the moment, but I know I've already said goodbye, but I wanted to say one more thing. Those are your two clips, and let me know what you think. What I wanted to say is I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's made this show possible. Not just this episode, but this show as a whole. A huge thank you to Madman Audio. Without him, this show would not be what it is. He creates so much for us and gives us so much. All of the music is Madman Audio's got his name written all over it. And a huge thank you to him. If you've not followed him, go and seek him out. Go and follow him. Go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's a lovely guy, and he will do anything to help out anyone. I want to thank everyone who's given a 3-word review this week. And I want to say a special thank you to our first ever Give Us a Fact. So thank you very much to all of you. Let me know what you think of our our audio clips, and I will catch you next week.
We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.
Thank you for listening to Home of Halloween's You Run podcast.
You've done your job well, and Mommy is pleased.
Don't forget you can get involved in the show in so many ways.
Truly.
The 3-word review.
He's insane now.
Give the show a call. Anchor.fm/Home of Halloween. Leave us a voicemail and get a play on the air.
Beers to the left of me, beers to the right of me, let's do it.
Not to mention, give us a fact.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
This is the You Run podcast because you run the show.
Welcome to a new world of gods and monsters.
If you enjoy the show, leave us a review wherever you can.
This is God.
Or reach out to us direct and send us a DM.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
You want to die tonight?